Hi guys, again, same day, but posted on a different day. Wow, sorry. But I didn't get it posted too long ago, but I sure did answer. It took me a minute to answer them, but they asked me to review something for them. So I'm going to be a nice person and read Haunted. I hate reading. Turn off the radio. Darn, I put this song. Yeah, I'm the first one to like it. Okay. Haunted, Chapter 1. Blood Moon. Ooh, I've never seen a blood moon. As night fell over the Psalms, I don't know what that is. A group of 7 individuals gathered in an empty tavern to discuss business. The oldest of the group, a man who looked to be about 35, named Joseph. I'm sorry, I'm probably pronouncing these names wrong. Sat at the head of the table as the others gathered around. Moonshadow Malden, the youngest members of Blood Raisers, stood nearby while the more senior members took their seat. Onks and Nighthawk took their places in Josphin's right and left hand sides, respectively. Ebone sat beside Nighthawk. I'm just curious as to why his name's Nighthawk. But anyway, shooting a smile across the table to Thaddeus, who... Sorry, there's something in my hair. Where was I? Gosh, I hate reading. Shooting a smile, Ebony sat beside Nighthawk, shooting a smile across the table to Thaddeus, whose face was obscured with his hooded mask. Behind the mask, though, he smiled back at her. The 2 youngest Razors took their seats at the far end of the table. Welcome all. There are many important matters to discuss. As you know, the Crescent Visions has become more active. Our meeting will have to breathe, our actions discreet. I say we take them out, eliminate the threat before things escalate. Who's saying these things? Just confused. Normally I'd agree, Nighthawk. There's my answer. But this time we can't risk it. If we reveal ourselves, it'll bring the wrath on a whole vampire community. We cannot allow that. Besides, who's to say someone worse won't come along and take their place? It's all vampires now, huh? Nighthawk shook his head. We don't. I just don't like the idea of the threat being so close to my family. I assure you they are safe. Your wife and daughters are watched over by several vampires even now. Don't worry. Joshua assured him. So, are the vampires good or bad? The meeting lasted an hour with the Blood Raisers doing little else besides providing update to their leader. The group excited to tavern, heading for the nearby forest hunt. As they split up to hunt, Jasmine glanced up at the moon. Gosh, I feel horrible reading. I can't read it for nothing. Which had a slightly red tint to it, a blood moon, symbol of fortune and ancient vampire tales. He wondered briefly if there might be any truth to the legends, and smiled faintly. He decided it didn't really matter to manage to the forest. In a distance, a wolf howled as the hunt began. I'm honestly just 100% legitimately confused right now. I'm just gonna guess it's a preview. Oh, it's chapter 1. Okay then. Let's read this one. This one I really like. It's very interesting and it contains slavery, and yeah, I just like this one the most. Darius hated Luce's, always had. It had taken his friends, his brothers, the past 4 years of his life. The gifted had arrived on Dark World almost 6 years ago. The recruits and their stun buttons and I can't talk. I can't say words. I'm sorry. I'm just a tiny child reading a 17-year-old thing. Darius cursed as the heavy wooden box slipped from his grasp, rattling against the ceramic tile floor. There was a resounding crack as Pursue McAllister, snapped his wooden cane against Darius' skull. Unless useless vermin should be killed already, he scowled and stormed past him. Darius rubbed the spot, wincing at the pain. There was a soft pattern of footsteps, and Peason McAllison, and then 19-year-old daughter peeked in. I'm sorry about that. They're just play fighting. So sorry. Yes, ma'am. Well, now you know my middle name. There was a soft pattern of footsteps, and Peason Alistair, the 19-year-old daughter, peeked in. She snuck over, a damp rag in her hand. She slightly pressed it against a sore spot. I'm sorry, guys, I'm really tired. Eliciting a smile from Darius. He had always loved her smile, her character. She was taking a huge risk of helping him. They both knew what would happen to them if they were caught. In fact, that she was willing to risk a beating for him was enough to keep Darius happy, even in a world of pain and torment and isolation. Thank you, he whispered. She merely nodded and gave him a sad gave him a sad, almost apologetic smile. She then reacted, reached into her pocket, producing a red fruit, an apple. It's red and it's a fruit. I never guessed that apple was that. Okay. Here, Darius, take it. You didn't eat anything today. She was right, and the thought of food made his stomach growl. He accepted a gift, biting into it greedily, savoring the sweet taste. Okay. He hastily devoured the apple, lest it be snatched away from Mr. McAllister. As the last one had been, he smiled at her gratefully, trying to hide the pain he felt. Darius had always liked the girl, although he never admitted it. She was very dear to him, and was one of the few gifted he called a friend. I'm almost positive this is about slavery. She was a remarkable girl, kind-hearted and innocent. She was also quite attractive, a warm smile and bright, shining green eyes. Her black hair reached to her shoulders, and Darius often found himself glancing at her out of the corner of his eye. What the bloody heck are you doing? Mr. Allister roared, his light blue eyes full of hatred. No, not my favorite color. Here comes the fake tears. If I can make them come. Okay, I don't know if they're gonna come or not. It might come. Yeah, I don't know. Like, my eyes are watery, but I can't make myself fake cry right now. He stormed over the pair, grasping the wooden cane with such full force that his knuckles turned white. He raised the cane to strike the young girl, but Darius stepped forward, allowing the blow upon him. Dang rich, corrupting my daughter with your filth, he raged, laying into Darius with renewed vigor. I don't know what that word is. Peason took a single step forward, but was swiftly backed him to the floor. The 19-year-old Rich, I don't know, heard her cry out and felt a white-hot, blinding, furry swell inside of him. Sorry, my nose is a little stuffy. The kind that demands violent retribution. The kind that yield to no force. Father, the girl began. Be silent, stupid, useless girl. Violent much? Stupid brat. Gosh. I would hate if he was my father. Honestly. He roared, angling his next strike for her slender form. Darius intercepted it, snatching away the cane and turning against his master. I do the same. I'm just saying. As a slave, I would just like, ah. He lashed out, striking the venture gifted across his chest, arms, legs, over and over, his rage pouring out of him in a primal, animalistic roar. The sound drew the attention to Autumn. McAllister Pursue's wife of almost 12 years. She had been kind to Darius, even allowing herself to be beaten as punishment. That's lovely. When she was caught, he thought of the kindness she and her daughter had shown him and the pain that had resulted from being caught, and redoubled his onslaught. Autumn triggered an alarm that had been installed upon her and the missions to the emperor. So many words I can't say. The ruling party of Lucius, that's how to say that. Within a minute, a squad of enforcers burst in. AX-393 multi-purpose assault weapons at ready. Darius could only just make out their cries through the blood pounding in his head. He halted momentarily as he heard the peasants sobbing. So he is a slave. He's a peasant. He turned to her. For some reason, this makes me think that it's Roman. Whatever. That it's Roman people. I don't know. Anyway. He turned to her, saw her kneeling, started staring up at him with fear in her eyes. Autumn swept forward and pulled her close, taking her from the room. Darius, now assured of the girl's safety, dropped a cane to the ground and raised his hands. The enforcers surround him, pummeling him to submission. The thick combat armor driving the air from his lungs and fracturing a rib. He wheezed and gasped, sinking to his knees. He looked up and saw the butt of a rifle screaming towards his skull, and everything went black. Oh, yay! I don't remember if that was here before. Mrs. McAllister, are you all right? One of the armed men inquired. He picked himself off on the floor. His expressed calm, but his eyes betrayed great rage inside of him. His voice remained even and controlled. Yes, thank you for your swift intervention. May I have your names? Oh yeah, I remember this now. The enforcer who had first addressed him stepped forward. Matthew, this is Riley, and that's Jordan, and the other man is James. He replied, pointing at each of his 3 squad mates. I can't stop yawning. I'm so tired right now. As he introduced them, to which they responded with a sharp salute. Whenever I started this video, I wasn't so tired. All of a sudden, I'm really tired. Pursues McAllister looked down at him, down at Darius' limp form, savagely kicking him in the side. After he turned his cane to him and gestured for Jordan and James, the hall to Darius's feet. With one last salute, they made their way to the front door. "Wait, men." Matthew turned. "Yes, sir." "Have this one out for the trial tomorrow." Understood, sir." He salted and let his there's itchiness on my face. Ugh. Understood, sir. Understood, sir. He saluted and led his men back to the palace of Imperum. The palace was, I remember this. The palace was a grand place of fine food, fine people, and fine art. Only 24 people resided there at the time, and all were gifted, not just any gifted, though. The Imperum. These men and women ranked at the brightest, most outstanding gifted on the planet, and every child dreamed to join the elite inner circle, and competition was fierce. Assassinations were not unheard of, although no dignified gifted, that is to say any gifted I wanted to see, would ever admit to it. The palace was staffed by a team of 200 hand-picked rich who were required to pass several tests before even considering for the job. They wouldn't live there, of course. Their filth couldn't be allowed to corrupt the sanctuary of the palace. It was for that reason that servants' halls and erect behind the palace. The hall was capable of holding 500 people comfortably, although many gifted argued that its size should have been reduced to only 300. After all, giving wretches freedom of any kind was asking for trouble. The foreman dragged Darius in through a side entrance so as to avoid letting the entates see him before their trials. I haven't seen this part in some of before that I read. He faded in and out of consciousness as they carried him deep into walls of the palace, where long ago riches were tortured for amusement of gifted ruling party. He was shoved into a cramped cell, and the whole door is shut behind. He had nothing better to do than lie around and wait, so he curled up on the floor and quickly fell into sleep's comforting embrace. Gosh, how much? Okay, good. How long is this? Back in her home, Pearson was still sobbing in her mother's arms, her face pressed against her. "Mama, is Darius going to be okay?" "Shh, Pearson, it's okay." "Is he going to be okay?" "I don't know, Pearson. It's all my fault. He could be dead, and it's all my fault." The possibility struck fast in her mind, worsening her mood. peace I'm sure he's fine. Sorry, just my leg just stinks, and for some reason rubbing it makes it feel better. I don't know why. Ask my leg that. Pierce's stormed upstairs, wrenching the young girl from her mother's grip. Dragging to her room, he shoved her inside, quickly slapped her across the face, and slammed the door shut. There was a subtle click as the door locked. She knew she would not eat tonight, and tomorrow was uncertain. She sat on her bed and wept for the kind young wretch. Oh, I want to say something too. Oh yeah, this is Malachi. That hurt someone. Yeah, my hair's a little wet here because trying to get the nail polish out didn't work. This story is amazing. I hope I get to eat more. I just put that for fun. Oh, this one's sad, but it is really good though. It's gonna be a bit long video because I read very slow and horribly. Dear depression, I'm done believing I have to fight. And rebuttal myself. Done believing that I can never be vulnerable. Done believing that I am not good enough. That I won't be happy, won't be successful. I'm done with it, dear depression. I'm not your slave anymore. I'm not fighting alone anymore. I'm not letting you break me any further. I'm not settling for just okay anymore. I'm not going to sit up at night wanting to cry more. I'm just going to coop with you anymore. Dear depression, I'm sick of your lies, sick of the pain and anger. I have my army now, and I've drawn the line in the sand. I'm not letting you push me around anymore. I'm done living my life in doubt. I have my army at my side, and we're not backing down. Dear depression, I let you break me once, but I've been thankful I let you break me again. That's honestly a good one though. Here's goodbye, a short story. This one's a sad one. I was talking about. The story will be dealing with topics self-harm and suicide. Wait a minute. Max? Oh, Max, why did you use your name? At least your nickname. Max stood before the mirror in his bathroom, staring at his reflection. contemptuously. He hated everything about himself, always had. He hated himself for failing, as he had always been held to a higher standard. He raised his right arm, a small blade clutched in his other hand. The cut was deeper than usual, but only a little. Just like the other times it hadn't hurt, he felt nothing. As a soul-crushing, completely nothingness. He sat on the floor and reflected on the day. It had been worse than usual. The bullies driving him to tears. Freak, four eyes, faggot, nerd, waste of space. Repeated insults aloud, his entire body trembling as the sneering faces of tormentors filled his brain. Oh no! Bullies? Bullies. He couldn't escape their ridicule, couldn't escape their pain. But when he stood up, walked into the kitchen and selected a knife from the drawer, he walked into the bathroom, tears streaming down his face. He knew what he had to do. He knew what he had to do. There was no turning back. Oh no, this sad part. I'm sorry, guys. I never thought I'd see this. He cut his arm again, muttering sorry. With each cut, he apologized. Sorry for wearing glasses. Sorry for being smart. Sorry for being different. Sorry for coming to school. Sorry for trying to fit in. He placed the edge of the knife against his neck, shut his eyes, and made the cut. As he bled out, he scrawled one last apology on the mirror. Sorry for existing. Yeah, that's some deep stuff. Yeah, you can read what I said there. Yeah. It's just love these stories. I just wanted to say a thing about goodbye. That's a perfect example that what happens almost every day to people all the time. I mean, one little person making fun of a person can cause the worst thing, and nobody seems to realize that. And it just doesn't make people happy, just like it doesn't make me happy. And it's just sad to know that people are just so rude out there that they end up making fun of other people. But for what reason? Suicide's a big thing, guys. But I'm not going to talk about this subject right now. So, I'm going to end this video now. So, bye guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, or comment.